Cardinal, one of the things that we want to talk about, ongoing process, ongoing effort, is Renew My Church. And recently, you wrote in the Catholic Chicago about a way to look at Renew My Church through the lens of the sacraments of initiation. I thought that was quite interesting. Tell us about that lens.
Well, it just seemed to me that we wanted to make sure that we anchor Renew My Church in our beliefs and what our core values are. Otherwise, it can very easily spin off into maybe just some sort of organizational reorganization or structure. We have to make sure that we don't secularize it, that we really anchor it in our core values. And it seemed to me that our sacraments of initiation, which we understand as three, baptism, confirmation, and Eucharist, are really the basis that will keep us focused on what we're doing. So for instance, in baptism, it is an opportunity for us to die to ourselves. And Renew My Church does have each one of us take a look at our own personal responsibility for passing on the faith and how we live our life. And it means that we're all going to have to give up something. We're going to have to not only change the way we live, but also how we look at parish life. Parishes just can't be self-referential, as the Pope says, but rather they have to be configured in such a way that carrying on the mission.
Right. So the idea, baptism incorporates us. It's not just me.
Right.
It incorporates us into a body, into the body of Christ.
I'm a different person because I'm baptized. As St. Paul says, it is no longer I, but Christ who lives in me.
Right.
So we are members of a body, and so that means that we really can take on His mission.
Yeah.
What does that do for us?
And it calls us to look up beyond just us, beyond our parish, into the greater area.
Right. And say that, and then of course the confirmation, that ritual early in the church has always been understood as that final blessing from the baptistry that ushers us into the Eucharistic community, where in fact ongoing formation and conversion takes place. So that we begin also with the understanding that Renew My Church has to have the outcome of uniting us. Mm-hmm. We have to have a stronger community life. And that's so very important. And then finally, Eucharist sends us out into the world. So we're not just here for ourselves, but we really have to have that new life that we bring. That's really the experience of the resurrection. We see that on the Easter Vigil. Yeah. Our experience, the way we experience the resurrection on Easter, is by baptizing new people. Yep. We see the new life in them. We have that reading in the Gospels about Mary Magdalene coming to the tomb. And who does she see? She sees two who are dressed in white. Well, at the Eucharist, at the Vigil, those who are baptized are always dressed in white robes.
Their baptismal garment.
They are symbols of the resurrection taking place. So it's important for us to realize that we really have to be about a mission, right? Not just maintenance when we consider our churches.
The sacraments of initiation culminate in the Eucharist. Renew My Church. In the Eucharist, what are the last words? Go and announce the gospel of the Lord.
That's exactly.
That's what this is about.
That's right. It is, and I think that we also have to understand that Renew My Church does force us to take a hard look at some of the variables in our church today. For instance, this year we have 23 priests who will reach the age of 70, which is the age of retirement. Now, if you count those 23 plus the ones who are over 70 who are pastors, still working in parishes as a pastor's or assistant, that number is 53. So if those 53 who could retire are gone, leave, go into retirement without any work, we would be in a very tough fix here.
Sure.
So we have to pray for vocations. We have to be smarter about how we use our personnel. We have to make sure that we don't burn people out. Renew My Church is going to look at all those questions.
Excellent. As we said, it's an ongoing process. We'll visit again in upcoming shows, I'm sure.
We sure will.